What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be mounting my intercooler into the front here and making the bumper fit. I'll be welding tabs onto the bottom and then building some brackets up front to tie into my headlight brackets. Then we'll make sure the bumper fits back around it, and after that we might rebuild my bash bar to kind of curve a little more around, help support the bumper still so I can run my factory bumper support. First things first though, we're going to run by Dollar General, get some oven cleaner, and I'm going to strip this black paint off because I like polished intercoolers better than painted, obviously. They just look prettier in my opinion. Alright guys, so we're going to be using some oven cleaner to strip paint off of this intercooler. Basically, chemicals in the oven cleaner will lift most paints. You need to be really careful around stuff you don't want stripped. But the more you use and the more you let it sit without drying, it will eat through the paint and lift most of it off. So yeah, here we go. So the oven cleaner didn't work very well. Honestly, I think every year the chemicals get a little weaker in them and they don't work as efficiently. But I did the old lacquer thinner strip and then polished it out, and it's workable finish, I'm not too crazy about it, but at the same time, you're not going to see most of it anyway until the bumper's off, so it'll be alright. Next, I guess we're going to start building tabs and try to get those mounted where it's hanging in place and then fit the bumper. So yeah. Alright guys, so I'm going to be using some of the old tabs from my crash bar that I had built, and I'm welding them onto the brackets that I had made for my original intercooler, because the spacing on this one is 2 inches wider on everything, both the ports and the mounting standoffs. So I'm basically spacing everything over 1 inch on each side. I'll weld them in, and then once it's kind of anchored to the bottom, I'll build some brackets that hug it tight to my headlight support brackets. And after that, we should be able to test fit the bumper and the bumper support to make sure it's all going to fit. And if not, then I'm either going to order a new bash bar, just a prefab, and then modify that, or I'll build new mounts to help hold the bumper, because I like to have my bumper supported in the middle instead of just on the corners, because it makes it fit better, and you don't have to worry about the car, having the typical KBD bumper sag and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm going to do a quick time lapse of me welding these in, and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so I got the tabs made. Not the prettiest, but definitely not the worst. My next hurdle is going to be, I guess, fitting my headlights, because this intercooler is a lot taller and it's going to be very close, so I may have to bend those tabs down to get the intercooler lower, and in doing so that might change a lot of different things here. So we're going to do that real quick and see what I can come up with. Okay guys, so I'm going to try and fit up my headlights here real quick. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to knock this down a good little ways to make it all fit, but we'll see here shortly. also for anyone curious, S14 Zenki headlights are very, very difficult to come by sometimes, especially in good shape. They don't make any aftermarket ones. I have 2 complete sets, but they are not of the greatest quality. But we're getting there. Be alright. And that's what I was afraid of. So, we're definitely going to have to go down a few inches to make everything fit. Not a big deal. Just basically bending the tabs is all we're going to be doing. I really hope I don't have to modify too much on the bumper to make it fit around, because my grill and everything actually needs space in the middle to lock in as well. But yeah. Guess we're going to just do one of these numbers. And try again. And just like that, everything fits. Is that ideal to do? Probably not. Sorry about that, guys. The sun overheated my phone a little bit and it killed the camera, but we're back in business now. Like I was saying, the intercooler brackets are underneath the headlight right here, which I do not like. So I'm going to build a bracket that shares right here with the hood latch. We're just going to tie it in, and it's just going to hook and hold it. And then you tighten the bottom, and it's just pinched right there. And it should, in theory, keep everything from moving, as well as tucking everything in nice and tight where it needs to be. With any luck, I should be able to run my bumper support right in front of it, even if I got to trim it a little bit, and then put my grill in as I need to. But we'll see here in a moment. After a few mishaps, we got her kind of in place now. Next thing I'm going to be doing is building a little strap bracket that comes out, and then it'll bolt right here to either where the latch goes, or I'm going to through bolt it into the bracket. I haven't decided yet, but I'm leaning more towards using this point here because it won't take much to get that. Literally, I just got to put a 90 and then a small little lip bend on the end to hold it, and I'll put some rubber in between it whenever I bolt it on for the final time, and that'll cushion it so it doesn't chew into the aluminum. I did kind of bow the bottom a little bit bending those brackets. I didn't think about that, but you know, should be fine. I don't think I hurt the cores too bad. These lower cores really don't do a whole lot anyways. As long as I didn't puncture them, we should be okay. Yeah, it's a little hot out, so sorry in advance if, you know, the video seems a little sluggish. But yeah, that's going to be the next thing, so let's get to it. So I got the bracket made here. Basically how it's going to mount is something along these lines, and it'll literally just suck this in, kind of like that. I'm going to bend it a little tighter so that way it holds it more. I just wanted to leave a little bit of room just in case it didn't fit 100%. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's not going to be the best solution, but we're mounted solid on the bottom and there, which will help support it, and then this will just hold it in place. We fit around our headlights nice and good. Next, after I adjust this to where it's snug, I'm going to fit my bumper support and then maybe try to put the bumper on. So let's get to it. fitting this up, which I already know I'm probably going to have to trim it. But actually, we lucked out. It fits snug, but it fits right over it. We should be okay with that. So I can live with it. I'm going to go ahead and fully bolt it on. And we'll go ahead and try to slide the bumper on. I'll have to pull the headlights back out. But outside of that, we should be able to put everything directly on and see where we're sitting at. I do have a little bit of spacing difference between my ends here, but it is what it is. It should all still fit behind the bumper decently. Worst case, I'll take this side in a hair. It won't be that big of a deal. I think I can sort it all out. Alright guys, let's see if we can get this thing to fit around that. I got a feeling I might have to cut a bunch out of that middle mouth on the bumper, but let's see what happens. Good old KBD for you. It definitely likes to move in the sunlight. I'll give it that. But for durability wise, it's unmatched. So, those of you that don't like KBD, I get it. They are kind of flimsy at times. But for you people that want something nice and durable and isn't going to fly off on you, and you can at least run into a few things out on track before it decides to come apart. Yeah, to each their own, you know. I'll never push anybody to go get something they don't want on their car. This is just what works for me, and you know, if it kind of gives you guys a perspective on the material and the type of quality it is, you know. One thing I will say, if you're going to run KBD, make sure you use all your OEM brackets. Mount it properly, and it'll never come off. Under here and make some magic happen. It is kind of a pain to mount stuff in the factory location sometimes. Just have patience with it. Really, it's the best way to put everything on. I know it can be a bear and a lot of people don't want to deal with it, but if you can take the time and mount it how it's supposed to be, it'll fit so much better. It really will. I used to just zip tie and, you know, drift car, stitch everything together, and hold it in place. And I got tired of, you know, all the self-tappers and, you know, the ugliness of it. it just doesn't look very good. Whereas mount it like a stock bumper, you'll never have any problems with it. It'll always look good. And, you know, realistically, it doesn't take that much longer to do it, guys. It really doesn't. But I don't think I'm gonna have to actually trim stuff, which is surprising. I was really going into this project thinking I was gonna have to cut a bunch of stuff, but it actually makes me feel a lot better. So definitely a win in my book. All right. Tighten all this down. Headlights back in. Just like that. Everything fits how it's supposed to. Nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. But give you a quick little overview once I'm done with this. I think I'm gonna speed things up just so I can have it done, make this video not, you know, a million minutes long. And just like that, everything's bolted in nice and good. I might eventually trim these out just a hair right in the corner there. It doesn't even hit that much. It's honestly not a huge concern to me. I think I do need to cut it just so it doesn't chafe its way through eventually. I will have to redo my intercooler piping just a little bit due to the different size of the intercooler and slightly different positioning. Everything fits pretty damn good, honestly. I'm very happy with how it all kind of mocked up. Obviously, I'll be pulling all this back off because I got to start doing bodywork on the fender, finish the hood, and then prep everything to start painting. But yeah, I'm very happy with the outcome of all this, and I think it's going to be a good setup. I really do. I utilize pretty much all the space that I currently have in the front, so I can't do much bigger of an intercooler. And I really don't want to do the bumper cut like most people do because, like I said, this is a street car. It's not going to be a track car anymore. There's no reason to cut it for maximum airflow if it doesn't need it, you know. It's still going to have, you know, flow through the grill for my oil cooler. I might put some E-fans on the front side of the radiator to get a little more air movement, along with having my stock clutch fan as well, because those are fairly efficient for what they are. A lot of people like to run the stock clutch fans because they move a little bit better air, and I don't like the look of big chunky E-fans if I don't have to. But yeah, I think that's about it for today. It's getting pretty hot out here. I'd like to go cool off for a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you on the next one.